because a spontaneous revolt occurs. There was a bunch of officers arrived to carry out Antiochus' decrees at the village of Modine, where an aged priest named Mattathias lived with his 5 sons. Mattathias was a devout Jew, obviously. He immediately killed the first Jew that approached the pagan altar to offer the sacrifice, and he also killed the royal official who presided. And he and his 5 sons, obviously fled to the hills, because they now were fugitives. Now, this little spontaneous incident blossoms into a full-scale war. His 5 sons were, of course, the nucleus of these gang of rebels. The 5 sons were John, Simon, Judas, Eleazar, and Jonathan. They had nicknames. Judas's nickname was Gaddai, Phasai, Maccabeus, and Avaron, and Apis. But the leader, it's clear that Judas of these 5 sons had great military aptitude and skills. His nickname happened to be Maccabeus, the hammer. Gives you some idea of his athletic prowess that he apparently earned before all this happened. But he then becomes the leader of this revolt. And the revolt in general are then known as the Maccabeans, after Judas's nickname. Their last name really had to do with Hasmoneans. Some people can't link up. Why did the Maccabean revolt, which was successful, lead to the Hasmoneans? That was the family name. The Maccabean is a nickname of Judas, who was the big leader here at the time. Matthias, the aged priest, soon died after their leaving the leadership in the hands of Judas. And so he was a brilliant guy. And this guerrilla war then turned into full military engagements, and they managed to defeat the more powerful Syrian armies. They actually threw off the yoke of the Seleucid Empire. And that leads to what's called the Hasmonean period. He did a lot of things. He captured Jerusalem. He rededicated the temple. It took 3 years. It's the 3rd year on the anniversary of its desecration that they rededicate the temple on the 25th of Kislev. And that is honored by the Jewish community every 25th of Kislev since then. It's called Hanukkah. We always associate Hanukkah with the colorful legends that surround. It's analogous to talking about Santa Claus and Christmas in a sense. They have some colorful legends about Hanukkah. But set that aside for the moment. The real issue is they're celebrating the rededication of the temple. And it's authorized in the New Testament, by the way. In John chapter 10, verse 22, the New Testament makes allusion to Hanukkah. I think the Holy Spirit did that to make you do your homework on this background. Now, Antiochus' death also took place in 164, so that's a great year by any accounting, okay? Now, he continued successfully to press what was now a war for independence. His last great victory was over the force of Koinonia, Beth Horon. That Beth Horon was the same place that Joshua had the sun stand still and all that. And that was in March of 161 BC. That leads to what we call the Hasmonean period. And that endures until Pompey conquers Judea on behalf of the Romans in 63 BC. So it lasts about a century of what we call the Hasmonean period.